How's everybody doing today? We're live. And as you can see, the title is Justice League, Who is Cyborg? And this video is definitely going to give you the answer. Shout out to all of you guys out there. I got a couple other things to say besides this topic, but we'll get into it as is appropriate. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to screen share here. I'm going to pop straight into it. I'm reading to you from Psalms 119 once again. That grand old long psalm. And I'm reading this verse, I believe it is I'm going to read from verse 109. My soul is continually in my hand, yet I have not forgotten your law. The wicked has laid a snare for me, yet I have not erred from your precepts. Your testimonies have I taken as a heritage forever, for they are the rejoicing of my heart. In Psalms 119, verse 134, it says, Deliver me from the oppression of man, so I will keep your precepts. Make your face to shine upon your servant, and teach me your statutes. I want to stop right there. I'll stop right there. There's a lot I want to talk about. I was watching an interview on The Breakfast Club in 2015. It was Kirk Franklin is being interviewed. And he made some very interesting points. And I just believe that as someone who calls himself a Christian, it's cool when he says certain things. It actually helped me to reflect on what I was doing with this channel, put it in a proper perspective. What do I mean by that? I mean, the brother showed me that it's always about having people get to the next level. It's all about people getting better. And he showed me that the only way that's going to be possible is if we keep on communicating, keep the dialogue open. And like he said, you have to get into the trenches with people. And actually, it's you can't speak from, people don't really listen to you if you speak. It's more about what you do. It really comes down to that. It's about showing more than it is saying. There was this it was these lyrics that were going through my mind for a certain song that I have, that I'm gonna put out. I'm gonna put out some music soon, guys. So those of you who are looking forward to some music, I got something for you. But the words are really simple. It says, don't tell me that you love me. Why don't you show me? Because actions speak louder than words. And I believe truly that I think that's the best way to truly truly mean what you are saying. Talk is cheap. So I hope that he kind of challenged me in a way when I listened to that, to show what I'm talking about, not just talk about it, So I just wanted to leave that right there. So you can check out Psalms 109 to 111, and Psalms 134 to 135, for those of you guys who like to check out scripture. Uh, that's my take home from that scripture. Um, so I want to get into what we're going to talk about, which is Cyborg. Who or what is Cyborg? And in my opinion, Cyborg represents us. You know, there are many different shades of meaning to things, but bear with me here. Cyborg is, like all cyborgs, a combination of man and cybernetics, hence cyborg. The cybernetics are the machine parts that enhance a human being. And we can think of a couple cyborgs. For those of you who can go way back to the 70s, 80s, there was a television show called The Bionic Man. The novel that was used to write the television series was known as The Cyborg. There have been movies that came out. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Cyborg. So this is not a unique concept to science fiction or to the big screen. 1 second, people. Let me just put this on pause for a minute. All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry about the long pause. Wanted to make sure that I took care of some stuff in the home that I'm in. I'm just going to continue this video. Like I said before, it's very informal. So, yeah. I was saying that Cyborg is very much like us. You know? As you can see from the meme, the description of Cyborg tells that it's not just Victor Stone that makes the cyborg the cyborg. It is Victor Stone plus the living machine that surrounds him and also interfaces with him directly. It's very interesting watching at this picture below here, but Cyborg basically describes it this way. He says, concerning his father, instead, he built a living machine and made me stronger than its host. And the host of the living machine would be the life from the mother box. The living machine would be the cybernetics that got life when the life flowed through Cyborg and well into them. Okay, so the Cyborg has two, like I said, two sentient beings, but now we can actually isolate the two sentient beings. One sentient being is a living machine, and the other sentient being is Victor Stone. So Cyborg is Victor Stone inside of a living machine. Basically, that's what Cyborg is. Living machine interfaces with pieces of Victor Stone, like for instance, Victor Stone's skull, and the machine sort of halfway interfaces with that. It's kind of almost interesting when we look at, say, for instance, the Terminator in Terminator 2 or first Terminator. It was a machine enveloped to appear to look like a human. And the flip side of that now is here we have a human that's inside of a machine. Basically, Victor Stone, I don't have the BVS picture to show you guys, but Victor Stone, his head and his torso, pieces of his torso, at least up to this point, and some stubby ends of his hands are basically him. And he's encased now in a machine, which sort of assists him in his heart and beating and, interfaces with pieces of his skeleton and interfaces with pieces of his skull, as you can see. But in essence, it's Victor Stone's brain, parts of his face, his neck, which is enveloped in the machine as well. You can see the machine enveloped his neck. So his neck is underneath that. Parts of his burnt face were replaced by, apparently he was in an explosion, so his face was burnt. Machine parts. And this is a living machine, which is why it can update itself, why it keeps on changing and morphing and growing and progressing, because more information that comes to this machine, it's able to process. So what really happened with Cyborg? When the mother box infused its energy into Victor Stone, the energy also proceeded into the machine cybernetic parts that were at the sides of him, so that the cybernetic parts actually came to life, as Victor Stone himself also, like he was rebooted, came to life himself. So that's why you have two living sentient entities in Cyborg. Cyborg is a living machine, and then it is Victor Stone. And that's the cool thing about Cyborg. So when we talk about Cyborg, before Cyborg existed, Victor Stone was just a human being, footballer, brilliant scholar. After Cyborg was born, Victor Stone was now encased in a machine that's alive. He didn't have feet anymore on hands. The machine had feet and hands, but it's integrated with him so well that he has control over everything. He just has to think and he can walk and whatever. And what's very interesting about that is the machine itself is alive. So that you hear Cyborg, when he interfaced with the Kryptonian ship, he was talking about how the armor's defense system, and he calls the machine his armor. The armor's defense system, it's stronger since the interface. I can't control it. So the machine, as Aquaman so simply said, you can't control the machine. So there's two entities. There's Victor Stone that exists in Cyborg, and then there's the machine part of him, which we will call the grid, which exists in Cyborg. And I find that very interesting. Now, without the machine part of him, Cyborg probably won't sustain or be alive, or maybe he will. I'm not Cyborg, Victor Stone, but he would just basically be a stump and a head, which is very interesting. So I thought if I were to break this down in a much more easier way, I'm eating, sorry about that, folks. That would be the best way to describe Cyborg. Now, I saw in the comment section, let me go back to that. Hold on a second. I know I'm eating. But I had this video. The Cyborg Victor Stone, just Victor Stone, clearly is not. And Ads Online, he gave his suggestion. It's pretty cool. It's basically along the lines of what I just said, which is that he's not just, Cyborg is not just Victor Stone. It's Victor Stone plus a machine, a living machine. And so that's what makes it interesting to me. Different people have different views. So I found this very interesting. And so I'll leave you guys to comment on that in a minute. If you are watching this feed. Once again, I apologize for the long lull in the post. Not because I was eating something. I know it's very unprofessional, but I'm not trying to be a super professional channel. We're just trying to give our contribution in the scheme of everything. Okay? So I'm going to point that out to you guys. And like I said, the machine enveloped Cyborg, gave him these new abilities. And I feel like that's kind of like being in the body of Christ. It's kind of like you're enveloped. Like you get this new life and you're kind of enveloped in a body. Basically, Cyborg gets a body. I'm sorry, Victor Stone gets a body. It's a mechanical body, a living mechanical body that can sort of sometimes override his control, which is what is the X factor in the whole thing. And I found that's the best way to describe Cyborg. He's basically a man encapsulated by a cybernetic body, which is alive now. And that body sort of works in tandem with him. Generally, he has control over that body, but there are times when he doesn't. I think that's the best way to describe Cyborg. I think that's basically all I want to say in this video. So let me get back to you guys here. Hold on a second. I see some people are watching at my video. That's cool. Hi, guys. Peace to you guys. And it's all about peace and love. And I thought, you know, I've been reflecting on this character for a while, and I like Cyborg a lot. Of course, you can leave your comments in the chat section. I'm in my room after a nice long day. So if you guys want to have a little discussion or a little talk on something, or you just want to say hello, that's okay. I'm here to just talk with you guys a little bit, and then we can call it a day. I was just doing a couple things in between. Sorry about the long delay where I kind of disappeared from you guys. But basically, just wanted to find out how's everybody doing. Ooh, okay. So I didn't know you guys were actually responding to me while I was gone. Sorry about that, guys. Leroy Kong. Hey, man. Sorry I'm late. Shout out to you, Leroy Kong. Shout out to you, Video Game Vision Quest. Sorry about that. I turned off the audio, guys. I turned off the audio. I hope you guys are still around. Well, you might see this video afterwards. I hope you guys are still around. What happened was I stepped away. A family member asked me, my mom actually, she asked me to go check out some stuff. And that became a priority. And so I went and I did what I had to do, make sure that stuff was done. You know, family comes first. As much as I would like to have, you know, do this, it doesn't always turn over cash. So I have to focus on our family. This is kind of a hobby as well. But I like to spread some light in the world and some good, you know, good sentiment, good stuff out there. So that's why I'm here. Leroy Kung says, hello, sorry I'm late. As always, great live video. Cyborg is a great hero. He needs to appear in more DCEU movies. Victor Stone rocks big time. Yeah, man. Hey, look, man, I'm a huge Victor Stone fan. I hope they take their time, though, to do a Cyborg movie because they need to do him right. You know what I'm saying? Leroy Kong, they need to do that dude right. But, oh, you know what I would love to do one time, Leroy Kong? I would love to have you on live and just you know, talk about some things DC, just talk some good stuff. I like your positivity, Leroy Kong. Shout out to you, my brother. Video Game Vision Quest says, are you still live? I think you may have lost audio. I turned off my audio, Video Game Vision Quest. I turned it off and stepped away for a couple minutes to do a couple chores. Instead of shutting everything down, I said, you know what, let me just leave it live. You know, some people may come through. Video Game Quest says, I think it cut out about 4 minutes back when you switched away from the X-ray shot of Cyborg. Yeah, I know. Hey, man, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to talk to you guys about so much stuff concerning the DCU and what I was looking at with Superman and you know, Superman's development and talking about X-ray vision and all those things. We're gonna try and get that done as well. We're gonna try and get that done. I know I just sort of did some stuff with my nose. I'm behaving kind of really wrong in public television right now. You know, if you're doing a public video, you don't scratch your nose, you don't do those crazy things. But hey, man, I'm home, I'm comfortable. So you guys, it's very informal, this video. I'm in my room, for crying out loud. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you feel a little comfy. This is a guy in his room, in his home, and he's just talking away with you guys. Shout out to you, Video Vision Quest. So I want to talk a little bit more about a couple other things. But yes, I want to see a Cyborg movie. I would love to see Ray Fisher playing Cyborg. I want to see more of Cyborg. Of course, I would love to see the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. I'm dying to see it. You know, I want hashtag release the Snyder cut. I see on Twitter some people still keeping up the pressure, talking about hashtag release the Snyder cut, and that's very good. I do not believe in bashing the current film that came out, Justice League. I really loved that movie. I saw it 10 times. I make no apologies. I still love that movie, and it's close and near and dear to me. But of course, if there's going to be a movie I will be watching repeatedly and recommending people to watch after Justice League's run, and the one that I will be playing a lot will be the Zack Snyder cut. And I do hope, and if Zack Snyder needs us to raise funds for him to get the extra money to make that movie, all he has to say is do a GoFundMe or whatever. Just say the word and we will be 100% behind him to make sure his movie comes out. So, and if they want to put it in the cinema too, I am all down for that. I really want to see the Snyder cut. I really want to see the Zack Snyder cut. I want you guys to know that is a priority for me. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see the Zack Snyder cut any day, anytime. Let me see it, okay? I really want to see that cut. So I just want people to know I'm all in with all those people who want the Zack Snyder cut. I want to do that cut of Justice League, oh, that would be great. That would be fantastic. You know, if we can get that cut out there, it would be fantastic, guys. So you guys now, what do you guys think about what I just said about Cyborg being the Cyborg being what he is? That Cyborg is not exactly Victor Stone. Victor Stone is a part of Cyborg, but Victor Stone is not Cyborg just by himself. What do you guys think about that? Leave your comments in the chat section. Let's talk about it, man. You know, I'd shown you guys how Cyborg was updated and upgraded, you know, before in this video here. Let me show you guys what video I'm talking about here. Hold on a second. Let me get the video. It's actually playing right now on YouTube. This video right here, right? And again, to me, this makes sense that there is a living machine, which is Cyborg, which is why that living machine sometimes does things. It gets more power and more control to be able to do things beyond Victor Stone's control. So Victor, you know, you remember when Victor Stone said, I was Victor Stone? I guess in a way, Victor didn't know what he was. But now I think even I understand what Victor is. Victor is the human part. Victor Stone is the human part of Cyborg. And then the other part of Cyborg is the cybernetic part of him, which generally is under his control, but sometimes it can get so powerful it can override Victor and actually do things. It's a living machine. So the mother box was able to infuse life into the machine part of Cyborg, which leads me to something I want to talk about concerning Superman. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but think about what I'm saying. The mother box revived Superman, but there is no duality inside of Superman. It's just the life from the mother box that revived Clark Kent, aka Kal-El. And so that actually, I thought that Superman was a symbiont as well, that there was some other life force, you know, inside him other than himself. But actually, now that I think about it, no, I think that actually Superman is basically just been given life from the mother box. Whereas with Cyborg, the mother box is given life to the machine, and the machine now is speaking an alien language separate from Cyborg. I don't think Superman has that going with him. So Cyborg's very special in that the life force not only went into Cyborg, but into the cybernetics that were connected to him. And so those cybernetics have a life of their own. And they were under the control of Cyborg, or at least at certain points in time, they are under his control, but not always. And that would explain why the machine parts of him continues to grow, continues to become modified, continues to change, because it's a living machine. Unlike machines that we have to write programs to get them to enhance. And we know AI is kind of like, you know, AI is not necessary to that point yet. I think that in the terms of Cyborg, this machine's alive, so it can actually grow and assimilate information and become modified. But I think even beyond what a normal machine could do, even a machine with artificial intelligence can do, this machine has life force in it so that it can actually adapt and change with Cyborg as well. With Victor Stone as well. So I find this very, very interesting. And you can see that it can actually override Victor because it's constantly evolving. So, you know, we could have discussions on that, but I thought that was just an interesting thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I think there's a difference between the machine part of the machine part of Cyborg and Victor Stone part of Cyborg. So there is a dichotomy, you know, and in a way, because because Victor has so much control of the machine, you could really think half man, half machine now. And literally Victor is half a man. He doesn't have these two limbs here. He has a torso, he has a neck, he has a head, you know, a piece of a head. He doesn't have his lower limbs, doesn't have his pelvic area. He really is half a man. So the machine kind of fills out that other half of him. Now you think about it, you know, I've been putting some thought into it. That's why I talk like that. You know what I'm saying? again, leave your comments in the chat section. I'm going to talk about something else that has to do with Superman in a minute. And I think it's going to be very interesting. And I think I want to talk about it because I was trying to examine what kind of concept or what kind of idea they were building around certain things with Superman. I will actually come back to the hold on a second. I'm going to actually come back to the what do you call it? I'm going to come back to the what I was showing, the meme, in a second, right? I'm going to show you. I'll show you the meme. So today I was looking in a little bit on Superman, and this is what I saw. This is what I saw. So let me go back to screen share here. I'm just bouncing in between, going back to screen share. Remember, you can leave your comments in the chat section. Leave your comments in the chat section. Feel free to talk. We like to just discuss. Let's just freewheel. Whatever you want to talk about, we're going to talk about. If I don't know anything about it, I'll look it up. And we can just freewheel talk, man. Let's just talk. Let's have a good time talking. So I wanted to show you guys this. Ooh, pictures library. Ooh, something just went wrong. Hold on a second, folks. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me get that right. I wanted to show you guys something. You know, they were talking, you know, in Smallville, we saw Superman use his X-ray vision. We saw Superman use his X-ray vision in Superman 1978 and onwards, and we see it in Superman Returns. A lot of times when we see Superman use his X-ray vision, we didn't really see it as as if he was watching an X-ray. In in Smallville, they actually had him like if he was having X-ray vision. You could see through different layers of stuff. But in Superman Returns, they actually had him, you know, as if he had MRI or some electromagnetic sort of vision. The reason is X-ray vision can't work unless you actually the X-rays come back at you, and there's very few materials that X-rays bounce off of and come back to you. So, and if he was using X-ray vision as well, the people who were being X-rayed, if they continuously be X-rayed, they would actually get cancer and other sort of negative effects. So Superman doesn't really have X-ray vision. I mean, if you look at the earliest, television series, for instance, when what was it, The Adventures of Superman, with you guys know who I'm talking about, the popular series in the 50s. That series, Superman, if he has to use his X-ray vision, everybody had to leave the room so he could look at these things. And even so, it wasn't really, this is not the way I use X-rays. Okay, remember lead, X-rays have to bounce off of something. So like for instance, it has to go through something, bounce off of something, come back to you. Okay, so if he had to emit X-rays, that's what would happen if he had X-ray vision. He'd have to emit X-rays, or yes, he would have to emit X-rays. They would have to go to the object, bounce off the object, and come back to his eyes. Okay, meaning X-ray radiation would have to emit from him and come back to him, and that's not really very feasible. So what Zack Snyder and company did was, I think they built off of the model from Superman Returns, where they were actually using MRI and what do you call that thing? Where it's more MRI. He has vision like MRI, where he can actually he's emitting sort of an electromagnetic sort of pulse, and then that comes back to him. It bounces off the object and comes back to him. They even say it could have been a sort of sonar, actually, that he's actually seeing with. More of a sonar device that could actually bounce off objects. And because of that, now you can go through layers of the object. Because if you look at the vision he has, it's not in black and white. X-ray vision is usually black and white. You would see that there are different colors and different spectrums of the electromagnetic spectrum that you can see through. So I have a feeling that it was more something like a sonar vision. And I would love to know about that in Man of Steel. Maybe some of you guys can ask Zack Snyder specifically what kind of vision Superman is using in Man of Steel and throughout the series. And why I say that again, so that you guys can see what I'm talking about here, I'm going to try and bring it back up. Here it is. So if you look at Victor Stone here, for instance, you will notice this is not X-ray vision. This is not X-ray vision. you will notice there's different layers you're seeing through. It's kind of like almost like an MRI you're seeing here. And people are assuming that maybe Superman was using some kind of like a sort of electromagnetic sort of frequency that's varied, and therefore you see different sort of, because he's not able to focus this energy, he's seeing different, he's seeing different layers of the people, and he has to focus it back in, dial it back in, so that you can actually get a character that looks something like this. Because the different electromagnetic rays of light are going through different penetrating through different levels of the individual, different levels of the individual, so that he actually seeing different things with this individual, you see, because of different densities. So I feel like that's what you're seeing here, and I find that interesting because a lot of us think that Superman has X-ray vision, or I hear them say he has laser vision or heat vision. And yes, laser vision, that makes sense, because again, he's gathering that energy from the sun. His cells are picking up energy from the sun. As you know, we human beings pick up energy from the sun, convert it into precursors of dopamine, hormones. We also collect it as vitamin D. But we get, this is where dopamine is created. I believe it is. It's not dopamine. It's just something else. I can't remember what it's called. And that is used for things like serotonin, melatonin, etc. I think it's a dopamine. I can't remember. But similarly, Superman also harnesses the power of the sun. His cells soak up the solar radiation, and as a result of that, he not only absorbs solar radiation to create food and nutrients for him, and he gets some of the nutrients from the atmosphere, but he also is able to store up some of that solar energy. And we've even heard there's science really going on for people to actually just live directly off the sun. And we're looking at how we can affect the genotype of human beings so that we can actually harvest more of the solar energy from the sun like plants do. What's another interesting thing, and this is all science fiction, by the way. Another interesting thing about this, which I just thought was interesting as I was looking through stuff that I was going through today, is that you remember Superman has gotten energy from the mother box. He's gotten a life back from mother box technology, right? And I'm thinking that that energy that was used for the mother box to infuse life in him, it made him stronger. We saw that Superman was a lot stronger, and so on. So I believe that that energy as well adds to all the other factors that are in Superman, all that energy that goes into his cells that his cells have absorbed. And I believe that's another reason why his capabilities are probably enhanced. So it'll be interesting to see, because remember, Superman can't see through lead. Remember in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, he couldn't see through lead. And the question is, here's the big question. If he can't see through lead, is it X-ray radiation, or does electromagnetic radiation, is it allowed to see past lead? If you notice also, another very interesting thing I noticed is that Cyborg has these cybernetics on him. Are these cybernetics fused with lead is another very interesting question. Can Superman see past the cybernetics? We didn't see him see past the cybernetics. So there's another very interesting thing. I don't know. It's just something that popped in my head. I don't know what you guys think about that. Leave your comments in the chat section. I'm going to come out of this again and see what you guys are saying about that. I'm going to be here for a little while, so I'm going to let you guys entertain your comments and stuff. So, what do you guys think about, what do you guys think about Superman? Like I said before, his capacity to, that maybe it's not X-ray vision he has, but something else. Because I was thinking about what we saw in BVS, and it's just, to me, it's very interesting that he couldn't see through lead. And clearly he could see through lead smoke that Batman had. So there's got to be something about X-rays where he can't see through those things. But is it only that that level of electromagnetic radiation that he cannot that he emits. Does he emit X-rays, or does he is lead? Does if you use MRI or electromagnetic fields, would lead be allowed? Would these things be allowed to pass through lead? So those are some questions I just thought about. Be interesting to see what you guys think about it. Like I said, you can leave your comments in the comment section. I haven't seen anybody leave any comments in the comment section. Maybe you guys are there. I see one person is watching. But shout out to you guys. If there's nobody else wanting to say anything else at this point in time, I'll just split. But I just wanted to talk with you guys about that. No other really new DCEU news I know. If anybody knows any new DCEU news that we could talk about, I would be happy to know. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about Cyborg particularly, and that you know, Cyborg is not just Victor Stone. You know, Cyborg is Victor Stone plus a machine, and that's a living machine, and that's very interesting, I think. So if you guys ain't got nothing else to say, I wish you guys a great week ahead. Have a good time. Didn't put up a lot of memes. I put up a lot of memes yesterday over the weekend, but not going to put up a lot of memes tonight. You guys might not hear from me too much this week, but I'll still be around. And I can't wait for the next DCEU film. I'm really into the DCEU like that. Hopefully we get the Snyder Cut. And any comments that you have to put in the comment section, or any comments in the chat section, don't forget to put hashtag release the Snyder Cut. That's very important. And okay, I'll just remind you guys of the scripture that, you know, I think it's more about showing what you believe than just telling people what you believe and arguing and disputing with them about what you think you believe. You know, I think it's better to show people. If you guys got nothing else to say, it's all good. If you got something to say, just throw it up in the chat section. I'm gonna hang around a couple of minutes and then I'm out. Yeah. Okay. I'm always looking at the chat section to see what's going on in the chat section. So don't you worry about that. I'm looking around to see what's up. Shout out some more people. R2 Lebanon. Shout out to you, Dave Ethan. You know you guys work hard. You're doing your thing through this vacation. Shout out to some other people who've been you know, passing through. T and J Ayala. Shout out to you. There's some other guys that passed through. They leave comments and stuff. So I'm gonna leave you guys from here. When is Comic-Con, guys? Tell me, when is Comic-Con? When is Comic-Con? Let me go check that out. When is San Diego Comic-Con? That's a huge thing, man. That should be cool. Coming around the corner, isn't it? Yes, San Diego Comic-Con. It is starting July the 19th, so it's way into the summer. San Diego Comic-Con is going to happen. No, actually, yeah, it's going all the way to Sunday, July the 22nd. So we still got a whole month before San Diego Comic-Con. James Wan said, you know, we know that James Wan said, you know what? I haven't formed a group yet on Facebook concerning Aquaman. Guys, stay tuned. Sometime tonight, I'm going to have a group up concerning Aquaman. I just remember that. You know, and I actually haven't gone on Twitter and like the Aquaman film. Which is another thing. I gotta go find Aquaman, man. So, yeah, I'll put up Aquaman. Outside to put up Shazam and Wonder Woman. So I'll try and put up those groups. I still don't know what the name for Wonder Woman will be. The sequel they put. I think it was Patty. I think Gal Gadot and Jeff Johns. They put up something. It was Wonder Woman 84, something like that. Was it Wonder Woman 84, something like that? WW 84. That's pretty cool. That was a nice look at that. So, you know, we ain't got much to say about the DCEU. WW 84. So I guess it's going to happen in 1984. Who knows? Should be cool, though. Should be cool. Yeah. Somebody tried to put up a soundtrack for Wonder Woman 84. WW 84. That'd be dope. I don't know what it's gonna look like and everything, but it should be cool. I know most people are looking forward to the next Wonder Woman movie. Patty Jenkins, what she got up her sleeve and stuff. But yeah. Well, yeah. It's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. I really do. It should be interesting, man. It should be interesting. We'll see how it all goes. You see Jeff Johns got it. Jeff Johns got his Jeff Johns got WW84 as well on his Twitter. So that's interesting. Yeah, folks, that's basically it. I know I'm staying a little bit longer. I just want to see if you guys would put anything in the chat section. So far, nothing going on in the chat section. Just been looking around. Always excited about different things. Nothing with Shazam, nothing with Wonder Woman. Yeah. How many of you guys check out DC Comics, man? How many of you guys check out DC Comics? They say Wonder Woman 2 is going to be Wonder Woman squares up against Cheetah, a villain who possesses superhuman strength and agility. That's what they got it as. And it's supposed to come out November the 1st, 2019. Let's see if they got anything on Shazam here. That's what they got on Wonder Woman 2. Shazam movie. What do they say about that? Shazam is an upcoming American superhero film based on DC Comics character of the same name. It's intended to be the 7th installment in the DC Extended Universe. They don't know what Shazam's going to be about, pretty much. The film is directed by David F. Sandberg from a screenplay by Henry Gahan and Derek Lemp. Stars Zachary Levi and Asher Angel as Billy Batson and Shazam. Teenage boy Angel, Billy Batson that is, who can transform via the magic word Shazam into an adult superhero. With Mark Strong, Grace Fulton, Jack Dylan Gracer, Ian Chen, Jovan Armard, Faith Herman, Run Cephas Jones, a supporting characters, who will be the first film version of the character since the 1941 serial Adventures of Captain Marvel, the character's original name, and will be the first full-length feature film centered around the character. Principal photography began in Toronto, Canada on January 29, 2018, with most of the film shot at Pinewood Toronto Studios and wrapped on May 11, 2018. The film is scheduled to be released by New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers Pictures in Real D 3D and IMAX 3D on April 5th, 2019. Dope. Should be interesting. Should be interesante. That's what I got to say about that. Oh, yeah. You guys are like, you know what it is to be in the desert. They know DCEU news at all. Be like, man, looking for something. Can't find nothing. It's something, man. Aquaman. I ain't hearing a peep about Aquaman. I don't know what's going on with Aquaman. I know they were doing some reshoots. I don't know. Let's see what's up here. Not a thing about Aquaman. I'm like, man. Be like, man, you guys should at least put out something on Aquaman. Aquaman finds himself caught between a surface world that ravages the sea and underwater Atlanteans who are ready to revolt. That's basically what's coming up. So should be interesting. By the way, the budget for the film for that, hey, the budget is 160 million USD, which is cool. And the music is composed by Rupert Grayson Williams, the same guy that did Wonder Woman. So that's interesting. Zack Snyder's company is there. DC Comics, Warner Brothers, Cruel and Unusual Films. Should be cool, should be cool, should be cool. But I'm not hearing nothing on Aquaman, man. They just real quiet about it. And I'm like, wow, why, man? I haven't heard nothing about Aquaman. And Aquaman's coming out just now. I mean, I've heard things on Wonder Woman. I know they've shown people stuff in certain cons. But, man, they not showing nothing. I'm like, wow, why are you guys not showing nothing, man? What's going on? They ain't showing nothing for Aquaman. I know it's coming out at the end of this year, but, I mean, come on. You got to show something. You know what I mean? You know how it is. Nothing. We like, man, we're just grabbing at straws. We're like, wait, where's the Aquaman? That's cool. That's cool. It's cool. Yeah. So I don't see nothing on Aquaman here. But we know the players. You know, we got William Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman, Amber Heard, Jason Momoa. I'm not hearing nothing on Aquaman, man. It's like, wow, why aren't they be having anything on Aquaman at all? Nothing. I mean, nothing on Aquaman. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. You know, since April, they showed some movie footage of Aquaman. I think in Comic-Con, they showed something with Aquaman. People was like, whoa! You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. It's cool. I'm going to wait. I will wait. I will wait. You can't be all day long talking about Aquaman anyway. So it's cool. Damn, man. I want Aquaman, man. Yeah, so there you go. I think that's about it. All right. I'll see you guys later, man. You guys have a good one, man. Have a good night. I just wanted to just roll through, tell you guys a little bit about Cyborg. I'm not gonna cut up this video. This video gonna be long. You guys have a good one.